Hi Ultimate Gardeners, welcome back to the Ultimate Gardening channel. My name is Emmanuel Arce, well known to be the Ultimate Gardener. Come join me in becoming an Ultimate Gardener day by day. In today's exciting sprouting video, I wanted to dedicate this video on my top 5 recommended vegetables that are best grown direct sowed. There's multiple different methods out there on how to start your seeds. There's winter sowing, there's growing them in pea pellets, there's direct sowing, which we'll be covering today. There's growing them in trays like microgreens. There's multiple different ways you could grow seeds. But I always find that my way of growing vegetables are always best by direct sowing them. I don't know if it's just because of my growing zone or my climate or how our soil is created, but for me personally, I always find vegetables that are recommended to be direct sowed always successful for me sometimes. So I wanted to cover 5 crops that I wanted to give to you guys that are best direct sown in the garden. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Before giving you guys my top 5 list, I want to give a huge shout out to the Survival Garden Seed Company for partnering with us on this video. They sent this 30 seed packet collection for me to try out in my garden and showcase to you guys. I'll be leaving a product link towards this product down below in the description box below, as well as all the media pages towards the Survival Garden Seed Company and their website. They're an amazing company that provides high quality seed packets for the at-home gardener for us to grow our own vegetables. They sell individual packets as well as the fun little tiny seed collections that they have, and so I'll be always recommending this company for you guys to check out. Once again, if you have a seed wish list, I recommend checking out Survival Garden Seeds because they have some pretty cool stuff. So once again, their website link and a product link towards this product down below for you guys to check out. So coming at number 1 has to be radish. This is the champion radish from the Survival Garden Seed Company. All the seeds we'll be showcasing today is from their company, but radish always has to come out on number 1 because not only do they take less than a month to be ready to harvest, but they don't really like to be bothered when it comes to them being planted. They like to be direct sowed and left alone, just watered and not even fertilizing, because it won't even be that much fertilizer you have to give them in order for them to perform the best. Radishes always have to be number 1 when it comes to direct sowing because this is number 1 best successful crop to grow direct sowing them. Coming in number 2 has to be basil. This is the large leaf basil from this company, and I always tend to find that coming in number 2 is their large leaf basil. Basil is one of the easiest herbs to grow from seed because they spread like wildfire. They're easy to propagate. When they throw their seeds, when their mother plant sets seeds and they throw them in the garden, they come out like crazy. They're easy to transplant. They're easy to grow. Basil is the easiest herb to grow in your garden. That's why I always recommend direct sowing them, because not only are their seeds really small, but also because your germination rate will be at a higher level. Instead of just picking out 2 or 3 seeds per cell, that's just way more work and labor, and I just throw a couple of seeds down in a hole, they germinate, and I thin them out when necessary. Basil has to be number 2 on this list. Coming in number 3 has to be their little finger carrots. Carrots in general like to be direct sown because they're a root crop. Any type of root crop is preferred direct sown because what we are eating is the roots. We don't want to disturb that root system when they're developing, because then we'll have some wonky shaped carrots, as gardeners has proven before. And so direct sowing your carrots in the place that they'll be growing up until harvest time is highly recommended, so you don't disturb those roots when transplanting them from a little tiny cell to the ground. So direct sowing carrots, it's always recommended. Coming at number 4 has to be the Black Beauty zucchini. Zucchini and squash in general always tends to be really easy for me to grow direct sowing them because our soil tends to be really moist because we have humidity every single morning. So I don't know if it's just because of my soil type, but it's because I always tend to have best successful rate when it comes to zucchini direct sowing them. I actually was invited to do a collaboration over at Roxana's channel over at Soil and Margaritas. We discussed about our biggest fail for the year 2022, and I discussed that my biggest fail was zucchini due to all the pests and diseases that would non-stop attacking my plants. But those 2 plants grew beautifully before the pest attacks, and they were direct sown in the ground. So I always recommend direct sowing squash, but it's totally up to the gardener on which method is best for them when growing squash. But coming in number 5 has to be lettuce. This is the Lola Rosa variety from the Survival Garden Seed Company. But I always find that direct sowing your lettuce is always the best way to go because thinning them is not required. I find that growing lettuce is super easy because you're able to grow them without thinning them because they're able to grow in really tight spaces. I actually have 2 raised beds right now, one in a Smart Pots raised bed and another one in a plastic fence raised bed I did. Both of them have lettuce that were direct sowed and they're doing absolutely amazing in the ground. So number 5 has to be lettuce because it's one of the crops easier to grow direct sowed, but it's totally up to you. So once again, those are my top 5 recommended veggies that are best grown by direct sowing them. Leave me any comments down below on which veggies you found that are more useful direct sowing them in your garden. This list is definitely not something stricted on because always gardeners come out with different conclusions or different outcomes when doing or starting their seeds differently. But these seed packets right here are the best way that I find these veggies to be grown direct sowed. So this is definitely not a defined list or a permanent list that every gardener should do. It's totally up to how you grow your vegetables and as well as which method is best for you. So thank you all so much for watching. If you learned something new, please leave a like down below. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing to show the Ultimate Gardening channel some support, as well as leave me any video suggestions you would like me to do in the comment section below, and I will gladly do them for you guys. Thank you all so much for the constant love and support that you guys have been providing for me. It's wonderful to see the community of gardeners growing and growing year after year. And I can't wait to educate you guys more on how to start your own garden. So thank you all so much for watching this video. May God bless you and your entire family. And never forget to grow big, Ultimate Gardeners. Bye guys.